one of them is not a guest. Well, he is tonight. But Elijah Conde is one of our program coordinators who you met. And we also have Denarius Lewis, who has worked with Elijah on a number of projects. So they're going to talk a little bit about their personal experiences. They have this concept called planting the seed, which is kind of what we do in scouting. They're all planting a seed. So I'll turn it over now to Elijah and Denarius.
All right. Great life, everybody. Great life. Hi. There you go. Much better. Okay, the reason why I say great life is because I'm a person, I love being positive. You know, with a lot of things that I've gone through in my young life, I choose positivity. Thank you so much. And I remember one time I got off the phone with one of my close friends, but also my mentor. I said, good night, Mr. Vernon. He's like, no, Elijah, make it a great life. And a lot of people who know me, I always say this at the end of a conversation because I don't want to just live an average life. I want to make it a great life. So every time I meet somebody, I say, great day, because I want to have a great day. That's my goal in life, to live a great, purposeful life, okay? So I have my brother here, Denarius Lewis. He's my, we have a crazy story how we met, so I'll let him tell the story. Denarius?
I know what you guys are thinking. What are these handsome and semi-handsome guys doing on? My name is Denarius Lewis. I'm a motivational speaker, entrepreneur, and community activist here in the Twin Cities. And when I met Elijah, it's a crazy story, and we'll definitely get to it. But we came up with this concept called planting the seed, because once we started to understand our own testimony of life, our trials and tribulations, we were planting our seed of our story into other individuals that were compelled to do more. So we're going to start with our concept. So planting the seed, what does the planting the seed truly mean? It means introducing something into someone's mind, whether it's a wonderful idea or a suspicious thought. We're in a time that it's either positive on the media or it's negative. So it's really what you're doing in your personal life and in your friend's personal life that's really going to compel them to do more in their life. I started my story. I graduated high school in Burnsville in 2011. I wanted to be everything I wanted to be, as any entrepreneur truly wants to do. I stepped out. I went to college in Iowa. I was a national champion in wrestling, cross country. Had 9 concussions. I said, I'm done with wrestling. I'd rather hug and smile. I transferred from Iowa to Sierra Nevada College in Lake Tahoe, lived a cool hippie life, paddleboarding, snowboarding, things that people, person of color typically does not do. Imagine I could not swim, but I act like I could, so I have a couple of drawing stories, so stay tuned. With me transferring from Sierra Nevada College, I met a friend out there. He said, hey, you can come stay with me in Minnesota. I said, great. My family had moved back to Tennessee, is where I'm originally from. And well, he didn't understand that I didn't have a place. He thought I just wanted to come and party back in the States. So when I came, I was basically, he's like, well, where are you going to go? And I was like, well, I thought this was it. So I got accepted to every school in Minnesota. I didn't have a car license or permit to get around. I had a friend going to St. Cloud on a Friday. I reached out to her on a Saturday, on a Wednesday, and said, hey, do you mind if I jump in your car in 2 days? The family, I had sent out a tweet to a family friend. I had sent a tweet out to Twitter, and a family friend had reached out to me. Caucasian family from Prior Lake knew me through wrestling and said, hey, you can come stay with us in Denarius. We love you. You're a great person. So once I stayed with them for a little bit, they sent me to college. I went to St. Cloud. They sent me with TVs, blankets, as if I was their own kid. So I was very grateful for that opportunity. In the summer of 2013 was the start of me really trying to be an entrepreneur. I went to college in St. Cloud, and I started my first business. I created an app called Zombie Doodle. I hired a company in China to come up with the concept. It was right around that time, The Walking Dead, Zombie versus Plants, all the things that are zombiness. I wanted to really ride that wave. And so with me trying to put everything into a concept of making it big, didn't really understand it. I went through my financial blunders. I was overcoming homelessness. I survived the summer 2013 with only $1.78. And so I started to really understand that I need to get in a different space. And so I stepped out. I continued to network with a couple odd jobs. I worked cleaning out all the dirty houses in St. Cloud. I was in call center positions, and that's where we originally met. I worked as a debt collector, understanding debt. So imagine a person who had to leave school because they couldn't afford to be in school, and now helping people try to go through the same thing that I was going through currently. So we met, and so I had joined the Chambers of Commerce when I was 19. And I joined the Chambers of Commerce. I'm a big cat person, so you'll see a lot of cat photos. I joined the Chambers of Commerce in 19, and I met a like-minded individual. Her name was Mary Deeman, and she was my mentor. She put a book in my hand and said, the best way to really get into stuff in life is to ask the questions from others who have already been successful. I started reading 3 books a week. I've now written 2 books. My first book is called The Criminals of a Personality. It's me meeting like-minded people, but they let in fear of getting away with their dreams. And my second book is called The Power of the Subconscious Mind. It talks about who you surround yourself with, the bad seeds and weighing out the bad ones, and using the power of law of attraction and meditation to get you where you desire. So when I started to understand the power of the law of attraction, I gave a talk at St. Cloud State to the Muslim community on how to overcome adversity, how to really step out in the field of whatever you want to do when you're the only person that has color in the room. And so when I spoke, this girl came up to me and she's like, "You need to meet my boyfriend. He's awesome." And I'm like, "Cool." And so she connected me with him, and it turned out to be Elijah. And I'm like, "Oh, I know Elijah. He was the brother that worked at the debt collection place. We both quit around the same time." And so we met up, and I was like, "Cool, what's up, man?" We built a connection, started becoming friends, eventually started aligning our purpose and passions together. We're speaking, and I posted a happy birthday picture to my sister on Facebook. He instantly texted me, he's like, "Is your sister so-and-so?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Your mom is so-and-so, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I took your sister to prom." I'm like, and he sends me the picture. It's like, "Oh, I'm the younger brother. I'm the youngest in the family, 2 older sisters, and she's the middle sister, so I'm the overprotective brother." I'm like, "Oh, you were the guy on the couch." I didn't like you. I didn't know who you were. I'm the younger brother. So it turned out we obviously hit it off, and we laugh about it to this day. But with all things that happened to our life, and we were put together and built a passion together, that I'm a motivational speaker with a kid who took my sister to prom. So we make it work. So that's the best part about it. So with me stepping out on my future, stepping out and continuing to go about all these trials and tribulations, I obviously fell in love with cats. I have a father of 2 cats. That's my pitch. I run a cat page, believe it or not. It's called Cats in Minnesota. It's cat memes. Cats in Minnesota. Follow me on Facebook. Struggles of being a cat room. That's what it says. So, cat. Parent / cat. So, once we started to really expel our message started to get known. So, this talks about all the trials and tribulations the individuals who had heard our story and said, "Hey, I implemented your story in my own life, and this is what I got out of it." So, this is the story. Once we started planting our seeds, we started growing socially. Facebook, my Twitter page is now over 18,000 followers. Our Facebook page is around 5,000 followers. Twitter is growing. Instagram's growing. We have a YouTube page, over 170 videos on YouTube. So we're still growing. And I sit on 2 board of directors. I'm a part of Legion Leaders. We have foster care kids exit the foster care system and teaching them construction skills. And we're tackling affordable living. So you guys ever seen tiny homes? We're bringing tiny homes to the Minneapolis market. And my other nonprofit board of directors I'm on is called SparkY. We teach individuals aquaponics. We're now in 12 schools, around 1,000 students, teaching how to sustainably grow and grow their own food, and then teaching those students entrepreneurship by then teaching them to sell those produces that they grow back to local restaurants. Now, why is it important to plant your seed? You guys are obviously planting the seed into every individual that comes into this organization, whether it's the staff or the students that you guys do serve. So when you're planting a seed, you must know your surrounding. You must know who you're serving. To really give back, you also have to understand what you're taking in from the aspects. So when I speak into an organization, I always ask them, what do you guys see yourself in the next 5 years? Because that same 5 years, you can excel that until the next 6 months, 3 to 6 months in that aspect. And what is your why? You guys have to have a mission statement behind getting yourself to the next level, for planting that seed into every student's life, and what is your personal why? Everyone is a part of this organization for a personal reason, whether they have experience being the Boy Scouts of America, or they just love the message behind it. Living purposely each and every day is really where you guys are going to really take this organization to the next level. So when I started to water the seed, I started to get out of my own comfort zone. We now work with the Brooklyn Center Police Department. I march with the Black Lives Matter movement. We all know what's happening in the media. So for me to get out of my own comfort zone, I wanted to work with everyone else. I started to see that when it comes to a certain agenda, individuals either are pushing an agenda rather than stand for a cause. So I wanted to stand for a cause. So with me getting out of my comfort zone, and also him, we partnered with the Brooklyn Center Police Department. This picture is actually featured in the movie. It's called the Netflix. It's called The 13th. It talks about the prison hotline system. You can't see me because I'm too tan, but this is I'm right here. And so when I saw that in the movie, I was like, I'm a part of the process of my own state. So it's been a very eye-opening experience working with police departments. I have now been invited to there's now a new technology coming in. I work with adults with mental adversities. So when a police officer was a call to a location, if they don't know who that person may be, whatever symptoms they may have, there's now an app called Vitals that'll be coming to the market, and it's like the Facebook for individuals with healthcare problems. So stay tuned for that. With me also Water the Plant, I've been invited to speak on KFII, how overcoming adversity shaped America, talking about obviously all the things that's really built the foundation that we have here in America today. We've been invited to speak at police events as well, obviously with us networking, meeting more like-minded individuals, continue to plant our seed so we can take in as much information as we can. When I first stepped out, I created a concept called Motivated Mentors, where we were really projecting individuals to really understand what positivity really means. Whether it's financial, whether it's mental, whether it's the stability of who they want to be. You guys can check out our message behind Motivated Mentors as well. When you grow your message, once you plant your seed, your message starts to grow. I'll read this testimony of one of my friends. He was going through substance abuse when I met him. My life was forever changed by my newfound friend. I was living a life of self-loathing and substance abuse when I met Denarius. Upon having a few conversations with him, he sparked a passion in me that has put me on a path of personal growth in which I am forever grateful. And I am sure the feeling will grow exponentially and upon future successes in my life. I look forward to the day where I can repay him for helping me to see me and my own potential where I was blind. You are my Morgan Freeman, the bucket list for those who have seen that movie. By helping me find my joy in my life, I look forward to the day where I can explore the world together through all the possibilities you encourage me to pursue. And when I met him, I did not understand what he was going through, his personal battle. He had home issues that was troubling him as well. And also he came to me 2 weeks before he was going to graduate college saying he was going to drop out because of all the pressure of finally getting to that next step of truly becoming an adult. So I gave him a couple of wise words to go through. My other friend is Brittany Martinez. She is my Oprah in my personal life. She's so powerful. Her sister is the Lulu Foundation. Her sister had leukemia, and she was able to reach out to Miley Cyrus within 2 weeks to meet her sister, one of her wishes before she went through chemotherapy. 3 years later, her sister's now cancer-free, so it's been very, very grateful for behind that experience of meeting Brittany. But she stated, I want to give a shout out to Denarius. Even though my life is falling apart, he's been on my side, keeping me positive throughout the day, making me laugh. And that was the time that she was also going through substance abuse, things that we're trying to cope when your sister is dying of cancer on her 18th birthday. So growing your message, reliving in purpose is really what our message is going through, because everyone's going to go through trials and tribulations of life, but it's really how you approach it in a positive manner that gets you through that. You guys are welcome to check out my books, Denarius Lewis, and I'm going to pass it off the mic to my lovely friend, Elijah.